Well, I am giving my little pocket knife here a tune-up because I have to open a hard plastic package. A while back, I bought some stuff at Outdoor World, and I gave it to Chance, told him take it home, put it in with our video stuff, because if it's in my car, I will take it out of my car or I will lose it, and I'll put it in a box because it's not very big. So anyway, tuned up my knife a little. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So what we got here is the Gerber. It's kind of like a skinning knife. You know, nice handle on it, and probably kind of a tough, a little bit thick blade, over 1/8 of an inch, and then it's tapers way down, and then it has a second, actually, primary bevel, I guess, and then secondary bevel. So let's get it cut open and see. I always kind of have to look, like, what's the best approach. I think I'll jam it in there and then just run right along like this, like that. Normally I cut towards myself so you guys have something to say. I'll be honest with you, I have never cut me cutting towards myself. I've been cutting things and doing stuff that I knew when I did it. There's a chance I was going to get cut having to hold stuff the way I was holding it, and
wow.
And it might sound just a little bit weird, but personally, unless it's too bad, I really don't care if I get cut a little bit. You'll heal right up. Okay, so let's see. We got our point protect. That's actually quite a quite a knife. So let's put these little guys over here. So I'm going to turn it towards you for a second, and then we're going to rotate it up like this. So we're about a good 1/8 of an inch thick right here, and then they ground it all the way out, almost a Scandi grind. Actually, this is really going to be sharp right out of the box, I'm sure. So it just gets thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner as it comes down. Then they ground it. That's actually really cool. Then they ground it here to make it kind of look like faceted, you know, like that. And then they hollow ground it all the way down. So let's kind of look at it sideways here, like that. So if I was to actually hang this on my ring or middle finger, so more like this or like that, you can get in there and skin, go around the legs, kind of cut it, pop it up, cut the legs off on a deer, elk, antelope, moose, things like that.
You got a model number on that?
You know, let's just let you look probably down in this area and up in here. Okay.
The downwind
ULU. And I was going to mention, like, in Alaska. Oh man, don't get me started on that. I'll tell you, I'll really tell you a story one of these days, what happened to me personally. Okay, the word ULU, which is ULU, okay, and I'll just run through it really fast. I was in Alaska. I spent 3 months up there. This in 2012. Okay, I went to the ULU factory, which is on the north end of Anchorage, Alaska. So you have this room that's probably 60 or 80 feet long. It's all glass, and they have all the stuff that you can buy inside the showroom floor, and boxes of ULU knives and everything. Then they have all these Inuit, Eskimo, Indian, Native American Indians, you know, and they're in the glassed off area, and they're actually grinding, you know, making knives, putting the handles on them, and the whole process is being done right in front of you. So you watch, and so you start, you know, on the far left, which I believe was the south end of the building, and then you watch as it progresses on down through each table, each station, you know, and then next thing you know, they wrap them all up and they put them in a box, you know, and put the lid on it, and it's original Alaskan ULU, Alaska made knife. Well, that's really cool. So when I come back out into the gift area, I said, I want to buy one of those knives. So I bought the ULU, and they just put it in a bag and sent me out, and I put it in my Blazer, and I spent 2.5 more months in Alaska, and I drove home, and when I got back to Cheyenne, Wyoming, I took my ULU out of the bag and took the ULU knife, which is an awful lot like that right there, out of the box, and stamped right there. It says made in China. The old switch and, you know, suck you in, watch you make the ULUs, sell you a knife. This was like $42. Made in China. Wow, I was so impressed. So for a while, and I finally forgot. But what I did for a while was I would call them at least once a week, and whoever picked that phone up really got an earful. And I did that for a long time. Every week I would call, and whoever picked up the phone understood that I wasn't happy. So maybe so I'm making a video now. And maybe they changed it. I don't know. Go to the factory and look and see if they're still made in China. And this would be on the north edge of Anchorage, Alaska. It's a factory where they make ULU knives. So we'll drop that, okay? And this is actually probably even in the kitchen, you know, if you're cutting stuff or chopping, but it's round, so you're only going to hit a very small area. I think for skinning animals and doing stuff like that, it might be pretty cool. It probably wouldn't be my own personal favorite. It is kind of a cool knife, and
Let's test her out.
It's probably really sharp. It's thin enough that it should be sharp. Without touching it, it ought to be. Okay, that's pretty good. But I listen, and I kind of see what it sounds like and how it drags and all that stuff. So one of my old little round poker chip sharpeners that I carry. This isn't the oldest one. They end up in bags and boxes. I take them to the show. I end up scooping them right off into another box. Then I have not the oldest one with me. Then I have another one. But this one is pretty old, I can tell, because the plastic is getting worn off around back in here. And after, I don't even know, maybe 15 years or something, it might wear off. You could even, with keys, wear that off enough on these nubs of plastic that the carbide will come out. So all you got to do is just take the carbide out, put a couple of drops of super glue down in there, push it back in, and it'll never come out again. All right, so let's see. Just like this. Touch it light, run right on around. Make sure you're matching the bevel that it was ground at. Just like this. It's the corners of the sharpener touching the cutting edge at a bevel acceptable, which is around 12. Anything from 10 to 15 degrees, as far as I'm concerned, is okay. All right, just like that. If I'm going to deliberately shoot for an angle, I guess I'd probably shoot for, let's go with 12 degrees. 12 and 12 is 24. That still leaves your blade fairly thick for durability and toughness, but thin enough for sharp. So just like that. And then we touch it super light, like this. Little tune-ups frequently, and never let your knives get dull. So let's see. Oh yeah.
Oh, sounds different.
Let's see on something tough. Now, you do not want to slip with this in your hand. You do not want to get yourself with something that thin and a long round, okay, and everything else, because you're going to need stitches really bad if you actually hit yourself with that knife.
So no running down a wet marble hallway.
That's right. Okay, that's 2 thick layers of cardboard. And that actually, once it gets started, that cuts pretty darn good.
Can't return it now.
Can't return it now. Huh, that won't come apart. I thought it would. But anyway, that's how all that works and goes. For maybe flushing skin off of hide or something, or you know, there's a lot of stuff you'd figure out to do with that. It just wouldn't be my personal go-to every time. I might even, I'll keep that on my table for a while to show people how easy it is.
Oh, you got to have that on your table just for a visual, man. That's...
Yeah, just like that, and go right on around. And of course, yes, this is the new American, the new all-American black long handle made in North Carolina. And I'll be getting more of those pretty soon. All right, this Brad Buckner, that is a Gerber, and it's actually pretty nice. It's kind of cool. That's upside down. 0730621B. So that's the number that they stamped in the.
That could be that particular knife.
Yeah,
look at
I'm
it.
sure it is.
Let's look at it.
Huh?
Let's look at it.
Okay, let me get. It's so little. Right side up is like
right.
this, I think.
Oh yeah, there it is. It's the 0730821 Brad edition.
There you go. Oh, earlier I did a video on this. I don't know what it is maybe supposed to stand for, but I can tell you what I would make it stand for. And that would have something to do with intercourse, Joe Biden. We'll see you later.